One of my favorite and most underrated, in my opinion, deck profiles of all time are the Skull Servants. I love playing them. They're a blast, and today we're going to be reacting to a video of them by TGS Anime, YuGiOh, Skull Servant, WIGHT, Archetype. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guide with many YouTube channels. Please go show TGS Anime some love in the pinned comment description down below. Let's get started.
And that monster was...
Oh my god, I started wrong.
The Skull Servants.
What a great way to start this, eh? There we go.
Later changed to the WIGHT series of cards to match their original Japanese names, are a group of skeletal zombie-type monsters that all originated from a single monster that released all the way back in 2002's Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Now, when I was a kid, I really liked the look of the Skull Servants. I've always been fascinated with the zombie archetype. I've always tried to make zombie world decks work, and I've loved having the beat stick, and I've always loved the idea of King of the Skull Servants back in the day, but of course, you could never make it work because you basically only had, like, what, Lady of White and Skull Servant to work with, so it's really cool that this ended up getting support.
And that monster was Skull Servant, known in the Japanese as WIGHT. What does WIGHT mean? Well, it's an old English word that just means a spooky ghost, a supernatural being.
Interesting, I didn't know that. I've never even questioned what WIGHT meant, to be honest with you.
Originally, this level 1 vanilla monster with 300 attack and 200 defense was considered one of the worst cards to ever be made. And let's be honest, with that stat line, they're not exactly wrong.
No, it was a bad card for so long, and then the King of the Skull Servants came out, and I have always tried, until it got, like, insane support, I've always tried to make it work, man.
It was so bad that players would try to personally challenge themselves by attempting to win with this monster in their...
That's me. That's me. I tried to do it because I thought Skull Servant looked cool.
decks. In fact, the YuGiOh GX video game, Spirit Callers, they would pay homage to this by adding a finisher bonus, where if you were able to deal the final blow with Skull Servant, you would achieve something known as the Skull Servant finish.
Really, dude? I didn't know that. That's actually pretty funny. Huh. It's nice when games do those, like, little Easter egg type things, eh?
Even the anime was in on the point and laugh at this card, as Chaz Princeton spotted this card in the Reject Well at Duel Academy. Which, if you didn't watch GX, was a well where people would take their absolute trash dog water cards and just throw them down the well. Because they
Dude, how dare they do that to my Skull Servant? How dare they do that? But again, that's another thing that's like a really nice, like, really nice. I don't know if you can call that an Easter egg. Poor Ojamas, man. And Chaz loved them until the end of time.
Didn't want anything to do with them. So, yeah. As well, in the old Toei Yu-Gi-Oh movie,
what the hell's that?
Pull this card alongside a basic insect and a
I didn't even know this was a thing. I should probably check that out. That'd be pretty fun.
Mushroom Man. 3 notoriously terrible cards. Even the kids in the anime admit that, oh my god, I pull absolute trash here. Kinda sad, really. However, you can only dig down and bury something so deep in a grave of shame before it emerges on the other side of the world, reborn as something different.
Dude, I love that, man. I don't know why I haven't reacted to this channel yet. It's been a channel that I've been watching for a very long time, and you can feel the passion behind the screen, and I just love the way that they're presented. It's very laid back. It's very easy to digest. I enjoy it, man. Going through every single archetype.
A meme. Yes, with the ironic love for this card being just an awful card, but a charming one at that, it was enough to receive a fan base, where the head of development at Konami US appeared to have taken notice to the cult-like status.
There's no way that that's the reason why it got support. There's no way. I had no idea. I was part of this and I didn't even know it was a thing.
So what did he do? Well, he mentioned it to Konami. And I can only assume this is how the pitch went.
So, any new ideas for some cards?
Skull Servant, right? One of the weakest cards ever. I think it'd be funny if we made new support and we made it the strongest monster ever.
I love it. It's brilliant.
Dude, now you can get this thing up to, like, what? I don't even know what the max is, but I've had games where this thing comes up to like 12,000 attack.
And so in walks the new support, King of the
Yeah,
Skull.
that's my guy. That's my guy, dude. And then this thing came out, man. I was hyped up. I thought it was so cool. And again, I'm somebody who always loved the zombie cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, so I thought it was awesome to have as an archetype.
Who, as of today, can get its attack to a whopping 23,000
Wow.
with just its own effect.
Dude, there's so many times where I play online and then somebody will say something to the extent like, no way, I just got beat by Skull Servants, because all of a sudden you can whip this thing out and all it takes is one attack to win.
But how can can you do that? I hear you cry. Well, the original flavor text of Skull Servant was a skeletal ghost that isn't strong, but can mean trouble in large numbers.
Oh my god, I've never noticed that either, so they even played off of that with King of the Skull Servants. What? Oh my god.
From this one line of text, the evolution of this card was already explained. Support would be created to help get the monster stronger and stronger when more of itself are around. So, the way the new cards work is you want to dump as many Skull Servants in the grave as possible.
And I like that they're zombies too, so they're literally in the graveyard. They play on that as well, but in large numbers you can have the King of the Skull Servants. Interesting.
Made easier by other monsters in the series treating themselves as Skull Servant while in the grave. After that, the game plan is pretty simple. Summon King of the Skull Servants, or all three of them if you really want to. Each one will gain 1,000 attack for each Skull Servant in the grave, and now, with your huge monsters, you can just wail on the opponent.
And again, all it takes is one singular attack to get the job done from King of the Skull Servants.
But the question then becomes, who else makes up the Skull Servant family? Well, first of all, we have the original Skull Servant. In the Toei manga, this monster was actually a level 2 monster and wore a green cloak.
I still don't know what the Toei manga or manga. I always forget how to pronounce that name. It's something I'd like to check out because I'm interested. I've watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And Yu-Gi-Oh! GX growing up. I've never watched 5Ds or beyond.
The Konami version released, it was changed to having a level of 1 and a new purple cloak.
I think it's more fitting like that, to be honest with you. It's more iconic.
However, they also decided to make this palette-swapped version of it too. This monster would be called the Wandering Doom. Now, while the artworks mirror each other and they can be thought of as pretty much the same card, this monster is technically twice as strong with double the level.
Well, yeah, and it has more attack points too.
Skull Servant itself left quite the legacy, due to its meme status and popularity. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Guide that usually delves into card lore goes very fourth wall in its description, talking more about its rise in popularity in the actual card game.
Dude, what is going on with me here? I didn't know like any of these types of things existed. Like we have a lore book for Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards now. What's going on? If you happen to be new to this channel, by the way, I am an old player returning, but this is something that I should still have known about it as an old player. I've played this game most of my life.
Backstory. I call this tale The Rise of Skull Servant. A peculiar and beloved figure named Skull Servant emerged from the cheers and encouragement of countless fans.
And I've always thought the artwork for this is really beautiful too. I always thought it was just a cool card. It's simple. It's a nice, simple, ghouly zombie, you know?
His unique design and quirky personality had captured the hearts of many, making him popular among players. One day, a surprising discovery was made. A lookalike appeared in the graveyard, known as the Wandering Doomed. The resemblance between the two sparked discussions in the white community.
Dude, there was a white community. Oh my god, they must have gone crazy with stuff like that. Why don't games do that type of stuff anymore? If there's like a community based around something, just drop the meme and just make some cards out of it. That's sick.
With some even referring to them together as two peas in a pod.
Aww.
Not everyone was thrilled by Skull Servant's fame, however. The lady in white, a superstar in the white community, was reportedly quite displeased with being mistaken for him while napping in her grave.
What? People are making up lore about the Skull Servants too? This is nuts.
Another newcomer, White Mare, seemed to enjoy drinking tea, but always appeared sad due to the beverage leaking out a crack in his cup.
Oh, poor thing. He looks happy to me. Does he look sad to people? He's got a big smile on his face.
More and more would be added to the family of Whites, and as their numbers grew, and amidst his own growing popularity, Skull Servant aspired to become a leader among his fellow Whites.
Oh, you know what else I didn't notice is King of the Skull Servants is also just Skull Servant. I thought it was a brand new monster. I've never really paid too much attention to that. Dude, I've played this deck throughout my life.
He began to exude a kingly air when surrounded by others, and his followers could often hear him mutter under his breath,
That's what I'll be one of these days.
As Mr. Skull Servant's popularity soared, he began appearing in various other cards. This would become a game for his fans. A kind of, can you spot me in your favorite cards?
Dude, that's so cool. Why do they not do this stuff nowadays? And if they do, then I don't know about it, but I highly doubt they do that. Why is this not a thing? Having different monsters and different cards like consistently playing up that meme, why is that not a thing? That's incredible.
With the continued support of his fans, he dreamed of becoming even more powerful and iconic. it is clear Skull Servant's journey is far from over. Which you can look at as two ways. One, he'll probably get more support at some point in the future, which, to be fair, he does get some every now and then. And two, there is actually a little bit of a storyline in the background of some artworks he appears in.
I want to see a little bit more of that, but I think that'd be so cool. Like, and I don't know if they're still doing it to this day, if the people like behind the making these cards are just throwing them here and there. I think it'd be cool if they were continuously doing this for the people who were part of the white community. Also, is the Skull Servant white community still a thing? Comment down below, let me know.
Most notable one is him and his family going on holiday together, which we can see in the artworks of There Can Be Only One and Quarantine.
Oh my
Other
god.
cards that Skull Servant has been seen inside are Anti, Dark Eruption, Ghost Salvage, Graceful Revival, Monster Reborn,
Oh my
Panic
god.
Burial, Pride of the Weak, Quarantine, Reject Reborn.
It just doesn't end. Dude, this is something that should be consistent through, like, how cool would it be with, like, every single new set that comes out, there's, like, one little subtle thing with Skull Servant around.
Self-Mummification, Spirit Caller, Spirit Shackles, Terrible Deal, Try White, There Can Be Only One, and Zombie Master.
All of this from a meme and a community? Dude, that just made me love the people behind Konami so much more. Whoever started that's incredible.
Now, Skull Servant actually has two vanilla fused forms from long time ago. When fused with Battle Warrior, it makes Zombie Warrior.
I didn't know, again, I didn't know that that's Skull Servant. Oh, duh. It's literally Skull Servant. Okay, so it's Skull Servant and Battle Warrior together, as a fusion should be. Sorry, I don't think... sometimes I look at fusions and I'm kind of just like, oh, it's a fusion card. It's just a busted fusion card nowadays. I don't, like, look beyond that.
When fused with Dissolve Rock, it makes Flame Ghost.
What a great card. 1,000 attack points, eh?
To do with the modern support, it's just kind of interesting that these things exist. Now, this monster has an upgraded form. King of the Skull Servants, known in the Japanese as White King. The original attack of this card is the combined number of King of the Skull Servants and Skull Servants in your grave times 1000. When this card is destroyed by a battle and sent to the grave, you can banish one other King of the Skull Servants or one Skull Servant in your grave to special summon this card.
And honestly, I thought it was always a very balanced card. Like, I know the attack points can get, like, really, really busted, but it's not difficult to stop an attack. It's not difficult to get off the field. It's only destroying by battle, and then it comes back with 1,000 less attack points. Prior to all of the white cards that we have now, it was a lot like of a bigger deal where it's like, okay, this card was 4,000, now it's 3,000, now it's a little bit less powerful, it's not as big of a boss monster anymore.
Yes, you'll notice in this monster's artwork, it is standing upon the corpses of its own self. A nice reference to how this effect works.
Now that I did notice, and I like that. I think it's a cool piece of artwork.
And there's also an implication that there might be multiple Skull Servants, so perhaps the Skull Servant is the one to rise up above the rest or something like that. But we're not done. Apparently to Konami, if a pun with a monster's name can be made, no matter how silly it is, they'll make it. And so that is how White King would receive an alternate version known as Wightbaking. White King.
I've never actually looked at those like they were the same card. I've never looked at any of the Skull Servants card and go, oh, that's Skull Servant. I don't know why, it never occurred to me.
Wightbaking. Its effect is this card's name becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. If a level 3 or lower zombie monster you control would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can discard this card instead. If this card is sent to the grave, you can add 2 monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except Wightbaking that are either Skull Servant or mention it.
You know what's crazy about this too? Is like the background that all of these YuGiOh channels use for the cards. It's like that, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like the Neo tech thing that's beyond you with the galaxy. It always reminds me of that game. It was somebody's sister. It was from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And crap, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. They were fighting someone's sister. I'm pretty sure it's what it was. It wasn't Noah. That was in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, maybe it was because it was in that throwback where the kids visit Yugi's grandpa and they ruin the character of Yugi's grandpa because she's like, hey, son, you know? And then whoever they ended up fighting in that episode, it always reminds me of that dimension of Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's like, I know it probably wasn't intended. That's just how I look at it and go, oh yeah, that's an anime thing.
Then discard one card. Notice, by the way, that this monster is doing the same pose as the King of the Skull Servants.
Oh my
except,
god.
Of course, he's holding some sweet potatoes.
Dude, there's so much love and care put into these cards. It makes me love the archetype even more. I'm going to notice these when I play these moving forward.
Sweet potatoes specifically? Well, this kind of treat usually pops up around Halloween time in Japan, and is traditionally made by burning a pile of fallen leaves for the potato to be cooked in.
No, I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not a big sweet potato guy. It's not exactly my cup of tea.
Fun fact, by the way, I actually found this. Yes, that is a sweet potato flavored Halloween Kit Kat.
That's disgusting.
I know
that's absolutely disgusting. Who would want to eat that?
they've got Kit Kats for everything in Japan. I'd like to try some.
They do?
I'm curious what this would taste like. But sweet potato flavored. I like sweet potatoes, but still.
Yeah, I'm not a big sweet potato guy. I'm not going to lie. And definitely not in a Kit Kat form.
Now, after these 3 cards, the rest of the series begins to adopt the Japanese name of WIGHT, rather than continuing with the Skull's servant name. Now, all of these cards share an archetypal ability together, which is that while they're in the graveyard, they are treated as Skull's servants. So just assume that for the rest of the cards. However, we'll go over their unique effects. First up,
yeah, and I like that too, instead of like reading. And that's something I need to get into because I make videos learning about the modern game as an old player that are returning. And then there's these cards that's like, oh, this card cannot be special summoned except for blah, 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 ignoring the summoning conditions. Like, all of the cards say that and need to get into not reading those.
Have the Lady in White, known in the Japanese as Lady White. Its unique effect is face up level 3 or lower zombie monsters on the field, except the Lady in White cannot be destroyed by battle. Also, they are unaffected by spell and trap cards and effects.
Dude, I remember I tried to make this card work so well back in the day. It's like, yeah, now I got my built-in protection for my King of the Skull Servant, but like it was pretty iffy back in the day before it started getting more support.
His name is a play on the legend of the Lady in White, a spooky ghost lady that is usually seen all in white and a little bit creepy, but it is Halloween time. Before somebody is about to die, it is said that if you took a photo of someone, you would see the Lady of White in the background.
Interesting. I have no idea what he's talking about. Dude, there is so much behind the Skull Servant archetype. It makes me want to play it just because of the creativity and thought put behind all of this.
That's how you know you're about to. So, spooky reference. Now, it seems to be implied that the Lady in White and King of the Skull Servants might be a couple, and they have 1 or 2 spooky children. The first is White Prince.
I've never thought about this before. Yeah, it's gotta be, right? You got the King of the Skull Servants, the Lady in White. They're together all of the time. They have their dogs. And that's gotta be their kid. It has to be.
Its unique effect is if this card is sent to the grave, you can send 1 Skull Servant and 1 Lady in White from your hand or deck to the grave. You can banish 2 Skull Servants and this card from your grave. Special summon 1 King of the Skull Servants from your deck.
Now, this was something that fixed a lot of issues with the deck. It was a lot easier to get King of the Skull Servants out there with this card around.
Now, we know this one is probably their son because it appears in a bunch of different artworks where they're all together. However, White Princess, it is unclear if she's also the daughter of these two. Because
I would imagine so. Hang on, what's he gonna say?
She does appear in the manner that they all live in together, and she also does have the same pets as them. However, in the quarantine, and there can be only 1 artwork, she doesn't seem to be traveling on holiday with them. I don't know.
Maybe she was sick. I don't know. Maybe she's the adopted one that the parents don't like.
Depends maybe when these cards all came out. That might be like a timeline thing. The card might not have existed back then. But I'm not 100% sure.
That's probably the case, I would imagine. So, like, she's got to be the daughter. Like, it has the same aesthetic, and they're living together. I think it's got to be the daughter.
So, I'm just going to say she is. She just doesn't like to go on holiday, maybe. White Princess. Its unique effect is if this card is normal or special summoned, you can send White Prince from your deck to the grave. During either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. All monsters currently on the field lose attack and defense equal to their own levels and ranks times 300 until the end of this turn.
Now, this card was, like, it's definitely had its uses, but out of all of the white cards for the support, I found this probably the least useful out of all of them. It's just here and there, you know?
And it's at this point I'd like to point out that we have 2 honorary mentions for this series of cards. These are the spooky pets that they have, which one is Skulldog Maron.
No way there's cards for them too.
Bone Mouse.
Oh yeah, because that's on the table. No way. What the hell, man? This is like the most mind-blowing Yu-Gi-Oh video I've ever watched in my life.
So these appear in the artwork, so they're kind of a part of the archetype, but not really. White Lord. Its unique effect is if you have Skull Servant or King of the Skull Servants in your grave, you can send this card from your hand or field to the grave. Send cards from the top of your deck to the grave up to the number of Skull Servants and King of the Skull Servants in your grave. You can banish this card from your grave, target one Skull Servant or King of the Skull Servants in your grave, special summon it.
And this is what I love about the support, is it's so easy to get your Skull Servants in the graveyard. It's so easy to get your King of the Skull Servants out, and then you can actually get that engine going, unlike back in the day when you kind of had to get lucky and it was a lot more work to get all of your cards into the graveyard.
Oh, take a shot every time I said Skull Servant then. Woof. Like Lady in White, this monster's name, White Lord, is a play on Light Lord. They can get a reference to the Lightsworn archetype.
Is it really? I don't know. I wouldn't have thought about that. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't have thought of a lot of things that were said in this video, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Ended by the fact that its effect mills just like the archetype.
Oh, okay. I guess so. I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
Lightsworn monsters, but more on the nose. This monster wears the armor of Jane Lightsworn Paladin, while Skulldog Maron in the artwork wears the armor of Raiko the Lightsworn Hunter.
There, again, the attention to detail, the thought put into this archetype. I guess this is absolutely a counterpart to the Jane Lightsworn or the Lightsworn archetype in general. That's so cool.
Whitemare. Its unique effect is you can discard this card, activate one of the following effects. Target one of your banished Skull Servant or Whitemares, return it to the grave. Target one of your banished Lady in White or King of the Skull Servants, special summon it.
Now this card ended up coming in handy so many times, and it's nice to get into the recycling your banished cards as well, whether it's returning stuff to the graveyard or special summoning, although typically what you want to do is special summon.
Everybody has to have a little reference in their name. Whitemare, it's a play on Nightmare. Another card like this that is as close to being a part of the series as possible is a card called Tri-White, which is a play on Twilight. But this card has the ability to target 3 level 2 normal monsters in the graveyard, special summon them.
I didn't even know this was a card, and I definitely wouldn't be using it, so not game-changing for me.
And with that is the Skull Servant series of cards.
Dude, TGS Anime has such good videos, man. Please go show them some support in the pinned comment description down below. And if you want to continue watching reaction content for YuGiOh over here, then check out this video on screen right now. I'd love to have you over there. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys.